So today we're going to talk about slope, something you learned in probably the 7th grade. We're just going to remind you how to do it. This slide says what is the slope or the steepness. So whenever we talk about steepness, it's kind of how big the slope is. And whenever how big the slope is, the more it goes towards a vertical. So this one is less steep than this one. This one is less steep, and so on. But the more it goes towards vertical, like this one is very steep because it has a bigger slope. Okay. If we want to figure out what slope this one is, which picture it is, we need to know that a negative slope goes this way. So we either know it's this one, can't be that one, can't be that one, that's a positive. That one is 0, so it can't be that one. That's a negative. Nope. Nope. And that's undefined. So there's only two options I can have for a negative 4 over 6 or a negative 12 over 5. This one we just want to work on finding the pattern and figuring out what the next number is, because in a slope you kind of have to do that. So this one, the next number would probably be 10, and this one is plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, so 13. This one's a minus 3 minus 3 minus 3, so negative 4. That one, that one, that one, and the bonus, I'll just give you the answer and you can try to figure it out. So this is going to go pretty quickly. When we look at this slope, there's two separate sections of it. There's the direction, which tells me if it's going to go this way, because that's negative, or this way, which is positive. The steepness tells me how much closer it gets to the vertical line. Hit the slopes. So green slopes aren't steep, right? These are kind of flat. But when something's very steep, then we're going to have a bigger slope. So this would be almost scary to go down if you were skiing. So kind of think of it that way. These are ultra steep, so it's almost dangerous to go down it. But this black line represents that steep slope. We will determine the slope of a line using plot graphs, tables, and written examples. So this one is a negative, positive, 0, or undefined slope. You should have said negative. This one is positive. This one is positive. This one, you can't have a vertical slope, so it's undefined. This one is 0, undefined, 0, and negative. How do I find the slope from a function, a graph, a table of values, and 2 points? We'll go through that. Slope from a function, remember m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So for this example, the slope is 4. The slope here is 4. The slope here is 1.2. The slope here is negative 60. Remember that. You do have to include the sign. That's very, very important. So this one is a positive 601. This one is a negative 6.85. When I take it from a graph, the rise over the run is my slope. So the rise is kind of the vertical change, and the run is my horizontal. So that's from left to right or right to left. From a graph, if I want to figure out this slope from this dot to this dot, my rise is my vertical change, so I count up 1, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. My run is just 1, so my slope is 4 over 1, which is the same thing as 4. Okay, remember, any number over 1 is a whole number. From a table, I need to figure out what is my vertical change. So that's this change. That looks like a positive 6. That looks like a positive 12. This one is a positive 2, and this one is a positive 4. So that's what I mean by the change in the y and the change in the x. Here I have a minus 8. Here I have a minus 8. This from there to there I have a positive 2, and here I have a positive 2. So that means my slope is my rise over my run. So what's negative 8 divided by 2? And you should be able to tell me that it is negative 4. So my slope is negative 4. From 2 points, same thing. If I have these 2 points, 3, negative 3, and 7, 13, then I take this chart that helps me organize the data, and I have 3, negative 3, and 7, 13. So the distance from here is 4, and the distance here is 16. So my slope should be a 16, that's my rise, over my run, which is 4. What's 16 divided by 4? You should be able to tell me that it's 4. Same thing. Oh, already did it. See how fast it is? So, finding a slope from a function, finding a slope from a graph, a table, and 2 points. Now I know this is really fast, but this is a video, so you should be able to rewind it if I went too fast, okay?